Hi everybody, welcome to Channel Collectique, and today we are collaborating with Geek Addiction. Nishan from Geek Addiction was kind enough to join us today, and Nishan and Gayan are hardcore Funko collectors. So today we are going to talk about Funko Pop and Funko Pop collecting. This might be the first part of a multi-part set of videos about we are going to cover all aspects of collecting Funko Pop. Nishan, would you be kind enough to shed some light into what Funko Pop is and a bit of history?
So Funko was actually started back in 1998 by Mr. Becker, if I'm not mistaken. And basically it was a bobblehead company that was just doing small bobbleheads here and there with minimal licenses. And then back in 2005, he sold it off to the new and current CEO by the name of what's his name? Brian Moriarty. So after that, he kind of took it forward and added more licenses and started getting more and more characters and people turned into pops.
Yeah, and I think that company was also sold to another holding company, but Moriarty is still the
main CEO.
Yeah. So when it comes to Funko Pop, I'm particularly talking about Funko Pop.
Right.
Because Funko has a list of other products.
Correct.
So Funko Pop took off
Yes.
more than the rest of the products.
Okay.
So when I from the shop, when we order stuff, it's a nightmare for me because when I get the SKU list, it takes me a good couple of days to go through everything and then finalize the product. So every month they put out so many new SKUs. And they have different varieties, right? Exclusives, shares, and stuff. So, would you mind telling us a bit about those?
So, I guess I'll cover Bolton Chases. So, there are a couple of different exclusives that come in, as you guys can see in front. So, we have store exclusives, like the Simply Toys down here. Then you have normal exclusives, like the Hellboy. And then you have your specialty series, like the Looney Tunes monster here, and you also have game exclusives, like the Punisher here. And then of course, I think the most recognized and I guess expensive will be the Chase exclusives, like Violet here, and then Vinny down here. So as you can see, there's a clear difference between the two, and they are, I guess, the rarest and hardest to find. On top of that, they also are pretty much double the cost of the average pop.
Yeah, also I think exclusives has various types as you mentioned.
Yes.
But the exclusives you can, even though they're limited edition, still you can buy them in bulk.
Correct.
So when we order exclusives, we can order boxes full of exclusives, but we can't order shares. So when we order the pops in bulk, sometimes you get the luck of finding shares.
Yeah.
But since of late, I think post 2017, they started putting a mandatory shares in a box of 6, and they mark that set as coming. They come with shares. Not all the boxes, but some characters.
Right.
So then the retail shops know that okay, we order 36. That means we get 6 chases.
Correct.
Yeah. So why do you think are there many differences between the different exclusive ones? You said there were game exclusives and there were store exclusives.
There are store exclusives, there are Comic-Con exclusives.
Yeah. So I think the Comic-Con exclusives are more invaluable.
They are more limited edition, so it's tough to find.
Yeah.
And it also keeps rising in value as well.
So for example, if you take the She-Hulk down here, so this is, I believe, a summer convention. Is it summer? It's a spring convention, sorry. So the spring convention She-Hulk is actually a good example of different cons that happen. So for every heavy con that happens in the States across the year, the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter, there is a different set of pops released, and it always comes down to this sticker right here to be able for you to know when it was actually released, and they're only released within the con. So when they're sold to, or when they come up to normal businesses and normal suppliers, this sticker actually changes to show that you, and it actually separates the difference in price, because the ones that you get at your local comic book store or store will not be as expensive as the one that you get at the comic itself.
Sure, and not only the US cons, but I've seen Singapore Comic Con exclusives as well, so it's around the world.
It's all over. So they basically ship them across to every con that happens.
Yeah.
It's the season is the same.
Yeah.
It's just the country can change, but the season stays the same.
Got it.
So they are in line with the US season because their production is based on the cycle of the cons that happen there.
Understood. Also, other thing to keep in mind is when you're collecting exclusives, never take the stickers off.
No.
Never to take it out of the box.
Yeah, that's so the stickers are like the biggest thing in the whole world. This little sticker, if it was a con purchase, it'll be a different sticker, and that raises the price up. Who knows, by another $20 or even $30 depending on the con.
By the Simply Toys Thor
Yes.
From Infinity, no, from Ragnarok.
Yes.
Ragnarok.
Yes.
Oh,
No, Avengers.
Infinity, yeah, Infinity War. Yeah.
It's
With the
it's
glow in the
Avengers.
dark,
Yes.
so that just escalated. Like they were Simply Toys were giving it on promotion,
Correct.
and it was just now I think it's about $90.
unaffected.
Holy cow!
So-
Why did we sell those?
We bought all of them.
So that one was like, I think, see, the other thing is, when it comes to pops and I guess people's addiction to a particular character,
Yeah.
they make a specific number, and then if it's an exclusive, it's even lower. And then once they sell out of that, everybody wants it. Demand goes up and it stays up. It doesn't go back down.
Yeah.
So because of that, that's why the price jacked up so
Roshan,
fast.
okay. Sorry. We got a last time. You were saying sorry.
So the price of the pop went up drastically because of the fact that there was so much of that.
Got it.
We'll stop that over. We
Huh?
can continue.
Just let him in, we can learn.
We can continue.
No, we can continue with him. So, other thing I wanted to tell is now when it comes to Funko, it's like a phenomenon for me. If you take other brands like Hasbro and other collectible brands,
Correct.
Mattel, Funko has dominated the licensing
Yes.
so much. They license everything under the sun. So they do movies, TVs,
They
TV shows,
basically
games.
make something for everyone.
Yeah, I even saw Funko Pop of a Singapore Airlines air host.
Yes.
Exactly.
So if
So the
you're
thing
popular,
is,
they'll
That's
make you.
that's their tagline, right? Everyone is a fan of something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the reason they actually expanded so fast, if you think about it back, so they started in 1998. Nobody was collecting until I'd say 2000, 2002.
Yeah.
But it really took off after the new CEO took over because he expanded the licensing rights and they started buying everything.
Yeah.
So it's because of the variety that people like collecting. It's not that Hasbro or Mattel or anybody else doesn't have. It's just that they're limited to only what they do, right?
Exactly.
So for example,
Hasbro is the biggest
Yeah,
icon
exactly.
in the world right now.
So given that, it still doesn't. The hype isn't as high with
Yes.
them because of.
And it's a more affordable collectible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As
it
well.
is.
Funko, yeah, definitely.
For like what 2.5, it's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
worth it.
So it's I think $11 in the US, $19 Sing in Singapore. In Sri Lanka, it's 2,500.
Right. So that's what
So around the world, I think in Malaysia it's 65 ringgits. So basically they're cheap.
they're cheap.
Yeah. And people just buy them in.
The funny part is that it's sad that a little piece of plastic that's so cheap changes in price so fast over the course of just a couple of months to a year. So I think it's a good investment if you want to
Because
start
the
It's a
collecting.
smart.
If you know what to buy,
The most expensive Funko Pop now is about $3,800.
yeah. So that's insane, right?
That's
a piece
sad.
of plastic.
It's a small bit of
It's
plastic.
a piece of plastic.
So what about vaulted pops?
Okay, so I have a good example of a vaulted. So if you guys can see the Brian down here in Family Guy, from Family Guy, sorry. So the way it works is vaulted pops come out. I mean, they have the initial release, and then after the initial release,
They decide to
they
stop.
decide exactly. They decide to stop production. When they stop production, they vault the pop, and what that means is they're not going to make any more pieces of the particular pop again. But in some instances, depending on demand and how popular the pop is,
Yeah.
they bring it back. They get the license again, and they bring it back. And when they do, what they do is they change the box in some way or another, where a collector will be able to tell the difference between the initial release and the new release. So the vaulted initial release will be worth more than the new one. So another problem with that Funko had in the beginning was they would sometimes lose licensing after post-production before sales. So right after they get the licensing, they make, I don't know, 1 million pieces, and they would lose the licensing for that particular character, but they still had to sell the items. So whenever stuff like that happened, that's where the idea of vaulted pops actually came from. Because they would lose the licensing for some reason or the other, something would happen, and because they already had, they already produced, mass-produced these pieces, they would sell off as many as they can to just cover their overhead costs until they get the licensing back.
Got it.
So it was interesting how it started.
And sometimes the most valuable is going to be if a vaulted pop is not made again. So then the
exactly. It's the same. I mean, as long as it's vaulted, if it doesn't get another reissue, the price every year is going to go up. Keep going. It's not going to stop. So one thing I wanted to point out was that when it comes to these exclusives and their pricing, based on demand and trend at the time, the price goes up. Now, for example, Thor is not going to stay at $150 forever. Right? It's gonna go down, and then it's gonna go up because they're not gonna make any more pieces. But there is gonna be a downtime for it because it's gonna stop trending. People are gonna stop. The demand will go, and when it goes, the price drops because people are trying to sell more.
So the people who hoard it are trying to sell it more.
Exactly.
That's when the
that's when the price will drop. So just like the market, the prices of these pops will go up and down. And then, I guess the best part is at the end of it all, it's going to go right back up because there's only a limited number of pieces there.
Awesome. I think that's about it.
Pretty much.
So I think we can touch chase pops and vaulted pops and exclusives in detail in the subsequent videos. So thanks guys for watching Channel Collectique, and thanks for Geek Addiction for the collaboration. You'll be able to see this video on both channels. And happy collecting.
See you. Stay tuned.